Hi, this is Anthony. Welcome back to my show. Today I'm going to look at AptarGroup. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, not a stock analyst, just somebody that's interested in the stock market that's been looking at it quite a bit since 1987 when there was a 22% fall in one day when I was in high school, and I've been interested in it ever since then. Now, this is not necessarily a company that I'd recommend. It's part of what people call boring stocks, and sometimes boring stocks can have really good rates of returns, and they kind of fly under the radar because they're not sexy names like Palantir and Nvidia. And for instance, those are two of my biggest holdings. I've done quite well in them. I'd encourage everyone to look at them and make sure that they are right for your long-term, well-diversified portfolio if they're appropriate for you. Anyway, and again, this is entertainment, not advice, but I'm encouraging you to do your own research to see if some of these might be for you. Okay, so here's AptarGroup. Now, they make pumps, closures, and aerosol valves and things like that. Really boring stuff, okay? But it's not something where it's going to go up 300% in one year and then crash like, a hot high-tech stock might do. And they're profitable, they're making money. They have a PE ratio of 28.68. Okay, so let's look at year to date, up 1.71%, not super great. Past year, not too bad, 7.57%, nothing to write home about. 5 years, you're up 36.10%, still not really great. But if you would have had the good fortune of buying back 32 years ago at $4.88, each share would be worth $156 now. Now, there's probably been some splits, so the stock may never have been this amount, but that amount is now equivalent to this amount. So hopefully you know how stock splits work. If you don't, well, learn about it then. Pays a quarterly dividend of 45 cents. That comes to a annualized dividend yield of a dollar or 1.15%. Always check out the financials, and the financials on some of these sites are kind of disappearing. Um, but anyway, there's plenty of information out there. Revenue is positive and net income is positive. Check out stuff like that. Be sure to keep an eye on the news, although news can be kind of sketchy sometimes. So make sure that the news source that you're looking at is reputable. This is actually from the company, but they have a $500 million share repurchase authorization. That's a good sign, obviously. Now, when a company authorizes X amount of dollars to repurchase shares, it doesn't mean that they will necessarily spend any or all of that money, but they can spend up to $500 million on the open market to buy back shares. And there can be lots of reasons that they want to do that. Obviously, if they think that the shares are overpriced, they're probably not going to spend all that money and wait for prices to come down so that they can buy it at lower prices if they think that that might be in the future. So lots of people writing about this. Again, may not be the very best, boring stock. I'll talk about other ones, but this is just the first one that I'm doing today. So I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already, please hit like, please hit subscribe, leave a comment. I always get back to reading people's comments and responding to them eventually, so have some patience. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.